Hey, Ollie.
Hi.
Big room.
Yeah, it is.
You've achieved so much in these last 11 games, but these next 3 games against PSG, against Chelsea, and against Liverpool, you have a better gauge of how kind of good that progress has been.
Yeah, of course, we're going to play against some top teams the next few games, but now it's just to focus on this one. It's always been like that. You have to think about the next one, and that's been one of the big pluses, that the players have been focused on the next task all the time. We don't look too far ahead, because then you lose your focus. So looking forward to this.
Hi, Ole. Hi, Anthony. I want to ask about the fight that you have within Anthony and Alexis, the same position. What kind of difference they have and they bring to your team?
2 quality players that can play in many positions. So it's not a fight, they're teammates. We're working together towards an objective of going through this round, of course, progressing in the league and looking for trophies. So it's always competition when you're at a club like this. Of course, Anthony's a young one coming through. Alexis has got more experience. So it's good being their coach.
Bonjour, Monsieur Solskjaer, ici.
Hello, Mr. Solskjaer. I'm over here. I'm going to speak to you in French. It's a question for Mr. Solskjaer. As well as the game, then, as well as the game. Yeah. Paraît-il, c'est Anthony qui va.
Au-delà de la rencontre contre le PSG, quel regard vous portez sur le PSG depuis
what do you think about PSG over the last few years or so? Do you think that they're now capable of becoming a top club, despite the fact that perhaps the French league isn't quite so good?
Yeah. Good translator, by the way. It's been fantastic to see their progress in the last, what do you say? I played against them for Molde in '95 in the Cup Winners' Cup. So the difference of their challenge now is fantastic. Of course, it's the improvement. They've got some of the world's best players. Both, they've got one of the biggest goalkeeper legends in the world, Buffon. Got Thiago Silva, who's been one of the best centre-backs in the world the last few years. You got one of the most exciting young players with Mbappe. You've got Neymar as the most expensive player in the world. So that tells you everything about their evolution and how they've progressed. And we know we're playing against a team with confidence because they're used to winning.
Ollie, has it been too long since Old Trafford's really experienced a big European night?
Yeah, it has been. Maybe if you look back, I look back through maybe one of the last few exciting knockout games. We lost to Real Madrid. Nani was sent off. Of course, we had Bayern Munich a few years ago as well. But so we're looking forward to this. It's both the supporters and the players that have been looking forward to some of these nights because they are special. Always been special. I think maybe my last one was when we beat Rome 7-1. That's probably the one night I played in. That one came on. Typical Old Trafford night where we lost 2-1 away from home and the manager was so happy. He said, we'll be all right. We'll win at home. He was so confident in our abilities. So I just want my players to go into this game confident and embrace the game.
Ollie, is it too simple to say these games against PSG and Liverpool, if you win them and win them in style, will be enough to actually convince the bosses here that you should get the job full time?
Yeah, it's too simple.
But those wins, that would surely give them a difficult decision to make.
You have so many ways of. You need to change the script now soon because you've got so many ways of asking us questions. So that's too simple. It's still a few more months left of this season for me to do whatever I can for the club.
Ici, Anthony.
Question pour vous.
This is a question for you, Anthony.
Vous avez changé de manager, mais les joueurs n'ont pas
You've
changé
got
de match
a
sur une
different
seule.
manager, but the players are still the same, and yet the results, there's no doubt that the results have changed completely as well. So, you know, what's happened, you know, is that now you seem to really enjoy yourselves out on the pitch, you can express yourselves on the pitch, you and Paul. What's happened? Well, we've got a coach who's got perhaps different intentions, different approach, and we're trying to do what he's asking us to do, of course, and perhaps it's easier for us now to play this style of football, perhaps compared to the previous style of football we were asked to play. You know, we're doing well on the pitch. We hope we can continue to do well on the pitch.
Bonjour. David Sandona, France Télévisions.
I'm from France Television, David Santona. In Paris, supporters are talking about all the people who aren't going to be playing tomorrow. Neymar, Cavani, Meunier. Are you playing a weak Paris team tomorrow? Do you think this is the best time for you to be playing PSG with all of these absences?
For you or me? Of course, any team that have are missing players like Neymar, Cavani, Meunier will feel the effect, but that'll give any of the other players a chance. So for me, it makes it maybe more unpredictable for us who they're going to play, because when you've seen that front three over the whole season, you know what to expect. So this time around, we're guessing a little bit how they're going to come, but we've got a good guesstimate on how they're approaching this game.
Ollie, obviously you've had some big matches already, but is this match one of the reasons why you took this job, to kind of test yourself against the best teams, the best managers in Europe?
No, it's not the. I would have said yes if we didn't play against PSG or in the Champions League as well. Of course, when Man United ring you and ask you to help, you take a chance and you think that you're going to help them. I believe in the way I do things, but of course, it's a fantastic game to look forward to. Champions League is a fantastic tournament, so it is a test for our whole team.
Hi, Ola.
Hi.
What did you take from the trip that you took to France to watch PSG in terms of how you will approach the match tomorrow?
I think it's difficult to compare games, and because when they play in the league, it's a different, because they know they're going to win the league anyway, and they approach games maybe differently to what they do in the Champions League. But it's always nice to see players live, because you get an impression on television and you see them over a period, but then when you see live, you see different spaces, different patterns, principles, and you saw how lightning quick Mbappe was. So you try to do due diligence, as it's called. You just go and watch whatever opponent. So it's difficult to say.
Looking back at the day of the draw, which was obviously 2 days before your appointment, did you have any idea of what would happen for the next 2 months when you sat there looking at it? And how would you describe the journey since then?
Of course, I didn't know. I was watching it with Noah, and we say, "Wow, that's a tough challenge." But I think we've given ourselves a good chance. We're giving us the best possible opportunity on the way we've gone into this game now, because we're confident. We've found out I found out what team we have. We're looking like a team. The playing style that Anthony was talking about, that we're agreeing on how we should approach games. So if there was ever a chance or any time to go into big games like this, it's now for us.
Bonjour, Monsieur Solskjaer.
Hi, Mr. Solskjaer. A question from PSG side. Tomorrow, VAR is going to be used tomorrow. VAR is going to be used for the first time in the Champions League tomorrow. So, do you think it's going to change anything? Has it changed anything in terms of your preparation? Have you briefed the players about using the VAR beforehand?
No, VAR has been part of football lately now, and players are getting used to it. We've had it in the FA Cup. We've had some introduction to it. I think it's a good thing if it's a clear and obvious decision that has to be made, but it's still opinions that the referee has to make. So for me, I like the discussion the day after as well. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? Like football's always been. So, but it's not going to be an issue. I hope.
Ole?
Yep.
Coming here in December. 10 wins and a draw going into this game. Even in your wildest dreams, you couldn't have seen this coming.
Not before I came in, no. Of course I couldn't. But when you get here, you expect to win every single game of football. When you got the players like this, the club, the size of and the supporters we have, then again, you know you're not going to win every single game. But I still think the players are disappointed with the 2 points we lost against Burnley, and so am I.
Yes, from Norwegian television. To Anthony, is there a wish amongst the players on Man U to keep Solskjaer as head coach?
No.
Can you repeat, please?
Is it a wish amongst the players on the team to keep Solskjaer as head coach?
Well, obviously things are going really well at the moment. We're really happy to have him here with us. We're really happy. And yeah, sure, I hope we can continue with him as our manager and our coach. But ultimately, the final decision isn't down to us. But certainly we're pleased that he's with us at the moment. Absolutely.
Ole Gunnar, how would you reflect on the 2 months you've been here, and how surprised are you by the results you managed to do with this team?
I've loved every single minute of it ever since the first day I walked in and seen the players. Of course, we knew we had a big challenge ahead of us because we were far behind in the league. Confidence was low after the defeat against Liverpool, but they've responded fantastically. I think they're, as I said before, going into this game, I don't think we could have been in a better frame of mind with confidence and form. So we're really looking forward to the next few games coming up, and especially the next one against the big PSG team.
Anthony, the manager was talking a couple of weeks ago about how pleased he's been with yourself and Marcus, but he'd like to see you getting more ugly goals and making those runs in behind the defenders even more, to get up to being a 20-plus goal a season forward. Do you think that's very much in your capability? And do you think United supporters haven't really seen still the best that you've got to offer? Do you think there's a lot more to come from you?
C'est vrai, je sais que.
Well,
il me l'a souvent.
He's often said that to me, and even previous managers have said that to me, and they've said, this is something you got to work on. You really have to work on that. And I think if I do manage to do that, get beyond the defence, then we'll score more goals.
The question, please. When the draw was made for the last 16, there was a lot of Manchester United supporters thought that the team would probably lose and that they would go to Paris and just have a nice time. Now it's different. Now they expect the team to win. Could you explain what has happened in the 2 months since the draw was made?
Je pense que le coach il est arrivé avec.
I think that when our new coach came in, he had a lot of confidence, a lot of determination. And I think that is really helpful, of course. That's really a boost to us. He has a lot of confidence in us. And obviously, we're trying to, pay him back in kind, as it were. And we hope that things are going to work out. Things are working out well at the moment. Hi, Anthony. Your current results and also the players who won't be playing tomorrow for PSG. Do you think that Manchester are favourites for tomorrow, given the current form and players are absent? Well, no, I don't think we're necessarily the favourites. But obviously, they have a few absentees, and that should be to our advantage, of course. But we also know that they've got plenty of very good players to come in. So I think it's still going to be a great game. It will be a great game, and I can only hope that we win, of course.
When you won this trophy as a player, obviously the treble-winning season, and you were Premier League champions, you're obviously too far back now to win the title. But has this squad got the depth and the quality to surprise people in the Champions League and go a long way in the competition, possibly to the final, in terms of what this squad's got?
I think the squad is very capable of winning against any opponent, I have to say. And as I said, when we go into games confident as we are now in the form we are looking forward to the game. Then again, you can't look too far ahead. We've got to just look at PSG now and make sure we go through this one, and then take the next challenge as it comes. But I've been very pleased with the attitude, and I said to the boys as well, if we keep working every single day in training, when we work hard, when we have lighter training, we concentrate, we can improve, and we can maybe surprise a few.
Oui, par là, bonjour. Une question pour,
I have a question for both of you, actually. Paul Pogba, this is a question about Paul Pogba. I know you're often asked this question recently, but how would you explain, how well he's playing at the moment? And Anthony, do you think perhaps because Paul feels a bit freer now on the pitch over the last few weeks or so?
Non, Paul, c'est comme j'ai dit, Paul.
Well, Paul's Paul. I think I've said that before. He has a huge amount of qualities. He's one of the best midfielders in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And I think at the moment, that's what he's showing. He's showing that he's one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think that he'll do even better over the next few matches, and that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah. Same.
You were playing very well before the managerial change. Has the current manager asked you to do anything particularly different from the previous manager?
Coach précédent.
Il me demande d'attaquer.
Well, he's asking me to attack more, perhaps. He asked me to attack. To attack, that's my job, after all, to make the difference, as it were, to be more decisive. And, things are working out pretty well at the moment, for the other attackers as well, of course, the other strikers. And I think that, I can only say I hope that we all continue to play like that. There's a certain degree of rotation, but I hope we can continue to be as effective, efficient, and continue to play at the top level.
Have you got any message for Paul Scholes today, given you're sat here and he's in a slightly less media
all the best. I've watched the pundits because he's been asking for it, so now he's walking in. But it's fantastic to have Scholes back in the game, of course, because he was a fantastic player to play with, great personality. So it's a challenge for him. I know it wasn't what they thought he was going to do when he was a player. But that drug with football, it just when you don't get it, and Paul is one of them. He loves football. So all the best, and I will be watching definitely. We're just around the corner anyway, so it'll be good to watch all of them.
Okay, last question.
Hi Ola. Going back to the 1998-99 season, United were very much praised for the attacking football, with goals from yourself, Teddy, Andy Cole, Dwight York. But there was two players that Ferguson had as undroppable in the Champions League, Jaap Stam and Peter Schmeichel. Are there any players in this current squad that you literally see as undroppable to kind of reach the highest level?
I've got a big, strong squad, and I think it's shown. Say Peter Schmeichel, he was a clear number one. Yeah, David is a clear number one, but we've got Romero in goal, who's a fantastic goalkeeper. He's played the World Cup final, 96 caps for Argentina. So you can't say any of our players, because we've got the depth in the squad is very good. But you'd like to play your best 11 as much as possible, of course.
Okay, thank you everybody.